Welcome, listener. If you've ever felt caught in loops of thought, if your mind has replayed the same pattern again and again, searching for certainty, relief, completion, then this story is for the part of you that longs to find a new rhythm. So go ahead and subscribe now, because every story here isn't just something you listen to, it's something that listens back. So take a slow, deep breath in and let it out even slower as we begin. His name was Daniel, and Daniel's mind was always busy. Not in the ordinary way minds are busy, but in the way that felt like a storm circling the same patch of sky over and over. He would check the locks 3 times before leaving. He would wash his hands until the skin grew tender. He would replay conversations in his head, searching for the hidden mistakes, words spoken wrong, meanings misunderstood. And though part of him knew the lock was already sealed, knew his hands were already clean, knew the conversation had passed, another part insisted, just one more time, just one more check, then I'll feel better. But the relief was always brief. The storm would always circle back. Daniel carried this silently for years. On the outside, people saw him as careful, responsible, even meticulous. On the inside, he felt trapped, as though he were walking a narrow path that his own footsteps had worn into the earth. One evening, unable to quiet his mind, Daniel left his apartment and wandered into the nearby woods. The night air was cool, the earth damp with autumn. He walked until the city sounds faded, until only the rhythm of his breath and the crunch of the leaves beneath his shoes. And that's when he saw it. A path through the woods, worn down, almost to the roots, from countless steps traveled the same stretch. It looked like his mind, a groove so deep, so well worn, that nothing new could grow there. He stopped and stared, and for a moment he felt the strange pull of recognition. This was him. This was his life. And then, out of the corner of his eye, he noticed something. Just beyond the worn path, a trail less clear, covered in moss and fallen branches, as if waiting for someone brave enough to step into it. Daniel hesitated. The old path was familiar, predictable. The new path was uncertain, untidy, and uncertainty was what his mind feared most. But something inside him whispered, "You don't have to keep walking the same groove." He took a step off the old path. The moss was soft under his feet. The air smelled fresh somehow, as though it hadn't been breathed in 1,000 times before. He walked slowly, carefully, his thoughts tugging at him like insistent children. "Go back," they urged. "Check again. Be sure." But he kept moving forward. And then he heard it, the sound of water, a river flowing nearby. He followed the sound until he reached it. The river shimmered under the moonlight, steady, endless, effortless. Not trapped in a loop, not circling the same patch of sky, always moving, always carrying. Daniel sat at the river's edge. His mind was still tugging at him, pulling him toward old compulsions, but the river's rhythm began to speak louder. It showed him that thoughts, like water, come and go, that trying to stop the river only makes it surge stronger, that letting the current flow, even if messy, even if uncertain, is the way life moves forward. He dipped his hand into the cold water. It was cool, refreshing, alive. He thought of all the times he had tried to wash away his discomfort, and yet, this time he didn't wash. He simply felt. For the first time, he realized he didn't have to obey every thought. He didn't have to walk the worn path forever. He could let some thoughts pass, like leaves drifting downstream, noticing them, allowing them, but not clinging. The night deepened. The stars above glittered like scattered possibilities. Daniel stood taller than before, not because his OCD was gone, but because he no longer believed every storm. He could feel a space opening inside him, a place where he could choose. He walked back home differently. Yes, the old thoughts still whispered. Yes, the urges still pressed. But now he carried the rhythm of the river with him, and when the loop tried to pull him back, he could pause, take a breath, and listen to the flow inside. Each time he did, he grew stronger, not from controlling, not from fighting, but from allowing, from walking new paths, from trusting the river's forward pull. And maybe now, as you hear Daniel's story, you can imagine the worn paths in your own mind, the grooves carved deep by repetition. And maybe you can also imagine the river, the place where flow is possible, where thoughts can pass without needing to be checked, without needing to be fixed. You don't have to force yourself out of the loops. You don't have to fight the storm. You only have to notice, to breathe, to allow the river inside you to carry what no longer needs to stay. Because just like Daniel, you are capable of stepping off the old path. You are capable of finding new rhythms, and every breath you take now can be a part of that flow. So perhaps you already are becoming more and more subconsciously receptive and emotionally responsive and free. So go ahead now and find a position that allows your body to settle, whether sitting or laying back, just somewhere you can let yourself be supported. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it out gently. And notice how even in that one breath, something shifts. And again, inhaling fully and exhaling even slower, as though you're teaching your body the rhythm of release. That's right. With each breath, imagine a gentle spiral, carrying your awareness downward, like a leaf drifting into the river. There's nothing you need to resist, nothing you need to stop. Even if the thoughts come, you don't have to chase them. You can let them float by, just as a river allows the leaves to pass without grasping. Notice how your shoulders can soften, how your jaw can loosen, how your eyelids may grow heavier the longer they resist. Every muscle knows it's safe to let go now. And as you breathe, you may imagine yourself standing again at the edge of that worn path. You can see the groove, deep from endless repetition. It's familiar, predictable, and you honor it because it was once your mind's attempt to keep you safe. But now, just beyond it, you notice that softer trail, the one covered in moss, untouched, waiting. And in this state of ease, you can step onto that new path. Notice the freshness in the air. Notice the lightness in your body. This is the path where you don't have to circle back, where uncertainty feels less like danger and more like freedom. And now the sound of the river returns, calm, steady, infinite. Every breath you take syncs with its current. Inhaling as the water flows in, exhaling as it flows onward. And in this rhythm, you can imagine your thoughts as leaves, twigs, petals floating downstream. Some you notice, some you don't, but none of them require your hands to grasp. They can come, they can go, and you remain the riverbed that holds it all. And as you drift deeper, your subconscious can learn something new. That intrusive thoughts don't require obedience. That urges can rise without needing to be followed. That safety does not come from checking or repeating, but from breathing and allowing and flowing. The more you practice this, the more your body remembers it. And the more your body remembers it, the easier it becomes. Because the truth is, you don't have to fight. You don't have to force. You can simply allow the river of your being to carry what is ready to be released. And in a moment, I'll count up from 1 to 5, bringing you back awake, alert, refreshed, and subtly changed. 1, feeling your breath deepen. 2, your body resting lighter. 3, energy returning to your limbs. 4, a calm clarity filling your mind. And 5, eyes open, fully back. And as you return, remember, you don't have to walk the same old path forever. You can step into new rhythms, again and again. So here are the key meanings of the story. Number 1, the worn path equals the compulsion cycle. The deeply worn path in the forest represents the repetitive loops of OCD, checking, washing, replaying, and seeking certainty. It shows how repetition carves grooves in the mind, making the behavior feel inevitable, but not unchangeable. Number 2, the untouched trail equals choice and new possibility. The mossy, softer trail symbolizes the possibility of change, even if uncertain or uncomfortable. Stepping onto this new path reflects willingness to tolerate the discomfort in order to break free from old loops. Number 3, the river equals flow and acceptance. The river embodies the principle of acceptance in OCD treatment. Thoughts come and go like water, and resisting them only makes the current stronger. Learning to let those pass without acting on them mirrors the mindfulness, exposure response, prevention strategies, and psychology. Number 4, leaves and twigs equals intrusive thoughts. Thoughts are images like leaves drifting in the current, present, but not requiring action. This reframes intrusive thoughts. They are experiences, not commands. Number 5, stars in the sky equals natural truths. The stars shine simply because it's their nature, just as openness is a natural state of being. This reminds the listener they are not broken, but already capable of flow. Number 6, walking taller equals integration of change. Daniel doesn't eliminate OCD overnight, but he walks taller because he sees a new way of relating to his thoughts. Change comes not from fighting compulsions, but from creating space, choice, and trust in the flow of the mind. The overall meaning: this story isn't about curing OCD in one moment. It's about shifting perspective, from compulsion to choice, from control to flow, from fear to uncertainty to trust in rhythm. This story plants a subconscious message. You don't have to obey every thought. You can step onto new paths and let the river of life carry you forward. And maybe now, as you've walked Daniel's journey, you can sense your own river beginning to flow, showing you that thoughts come and go without needing to be traced, without needing to be checked. And the more you allow yourself to notice this rhythm, the more you'll find you don't have to walk the same old grooves forever. You can step into new paths. You can choose flow. You can trust the river inside you. And if the story spoke to you, go ahead and subscribe now, because every story here isn't just something you listen to. It's something that listens back. Until next time, be well.